They do not compare. The popularity of Harry and Meghan dropped below that of Prince Andrew. Greetings and welcome to the world of Royal Staff's channel. They are so despised in the US that even Prince Andrew is more popular than them, according to a recent poll, which is astounding news you won't believe. Yep, you heard that correctly. Prince Andrew, who settled a sexual assault complaint by paying a settlement, has a higher popularity score than the Sussexes. Prince Harry's approval rating in the US is a pitiful -10, and Meghan's approval rating is much lower at a -17, according to the Redfield and Wilton poll conducted for Newsweek. The pair who felt they could do no wrong find it difficult to accept. Spare, their contentious autobiography has done them no favors. Of then, Prince Andrew isn't exactly a role model either. Some of you may be saying, you are correct, he is not. But here's one thing. He doesn't say anything. Andrew has figured out how to keep quiet and stay out of trouble, unlike Harry and Meghan, who seem to be enjoying nothing more than airing their dirty laundry in public. He did slip up during his interview with Emily Maitlis, but he promptly corrected himself and hasn't attempted to sell BRF smears to the media. In all actuality, the royal family made a wise decision by choosing not to address Harry and Meghan's allegations. They are aware that talking to them will not benefit them in any way. Only a small portion of people would believe what the couple claimed, even if they could prove it to be false. So why run the risk of appearing worse? Never complain and never explain, as the saying goes. In spite of the fact that it's a great PR move for the BRF, Andrew disregarded it due to his arrogance. He believed that if he just presented his version of events, everyone would concur. Sounds recognizable? In fact, Harry and Meghan are acting in that same manner. But in actuality, regular people who go about their daily lives do not have the luxury of not being challenged. The royals are doing wisely because they are aware of this. With their charges, Harry and Meghan may have believed they could pull off a trick, but it appears like King Charles has pulled a fast one on them. And therein is the strength of a strategic approach, my friends. Let's face it, a ton of politicians and celebrities had ties to Epstein, and the most of them managed to escape their associations with him relatively undamaged by remaining silent and keeping a low profile. Unfortunately, there is no reason to believe that Andrew would have changed if he hadn't conducted the interview. However, why was Andrew the only one we knew about? The conspiracy theorist in me believes that Epstein was made the media's sacrificial lamb by the other wealthy and influential persons on Epstein's list. Okay, so you want to know about my time spent on Epstein's Island? Have you seen this photo of Prince Andrew at his residence with the most outspoken Epstein's victims? Now, Prince Andrew is the second son and unimportant to the crown. Aside from being the second son of the Queen, he offers nothing. He was therefore an easy target for media attention. The past several months have been difficult for Harry and Meghan. They were not only criticized for their contentious Oprah interview, but they were also left in shock following the airing of the vicious South Park episode that mocked their purported need for privacy. In addition, a Newsweek poll revealed that Harry's popularity had dropped a shocking 48 points since December. Meghan has also seen a decline in popularity, falling by 40 points. But more than just polls are raising red flags right now. The increasingly unpopular couple has come under fire from U.S. critics, who claim that since the couple moved into a massive estate in California, Americans are sick of them. The public seems to be less interested in Harry and Meghan the more they try to recast themselves as celebrities. And yet, despite everything, Harry and Meghan don't seem to see how harming their own brand is. They continue to believe that they have been unfairly singled out and that nobody can relate to them. Yet in actuality, they brought this upon themselves. They allowed their judgment to be clouded by greed and a complete lack of self-awareness, and they are now suffering as a result. They might be able to save their reputation if they stopped blaming other people and started accepting responsibility for their own conduct. But until then, it appears they're destined to suffer the decline in their popularity. We should recognize that he has two redeeming qualities notwithstanding his role in the Epstein controversy. He adores his kids, loved his mother dearly, and is still deeply in love with his ex-wife. It's unfortunate that he didn't pay attention before giving that iconic interview because they are excellent traits. He's listening now, though, so if he keeps quiet for a while, the crowd will finally move on. Andrew is a man of great influence who, like many men of his background, has an exaggerated sense of his own brilliance and status. With the advantages he has had throughout his life, he is self-centered and believes he has been treated unfairly, which is absurd. It was terrible that the Queen's final years were strained by his involvement in the Epstein controversy, but at least Andrew is aware of when to be silent. You know what's worse, though? The brazenness with which his nephew Harry published such terrible things about his own family. Really, I ask? No longer is anything sacred? Although Andrew may have made mistakes, I doubt he ever went to such extremes to obtain money or anything else. Let's not forget that if Virginia's scandal hadn't overshadowed his own, the public would have despised him much more. The final truth is that Andrew might have been able to save his reputation if he had just stopped talking and paid attention before giving that horrible interview. Nevertheless, it's already too late for that. He has no choice except to remain silent and wait for people to forget about him. Did you know that South Park, a well-known animated series, has targeted Prince Harry and Meghan Markle? We're all aware that they've been in the news a lot lately. Yes, last week's episode of the show had a fictitious prince and princess of Canada embarking on a global privacy tour, which many viewers interpreted as a jab at the famous couple. In response to the South Park episode, TV anchor Megyn Kelly warned that Harry and Meghan had jumped the shark and won't recover from the criticism they faced. As for Meghan possibly running for president, she shot down the rumors by declaring, "That's not happening." The South Park episode appears to have struck a chord with Harry and Meghan, as they were apparently shaken by the web videos that went viral. This occurs at a time when they are battling to uphold a positive reputation in the United States, and their popularity ratings are at an all-time low. Kate Middleton isn't having the same issues, though. She has a net approval score of 32%, making her America's favorite living royal, according to the most recent Newsweek poll. What does this signify for the Sussex brand's future, though? Catherine Schofield, a royal pundit, said that while Meghan hopes to improve her popularity numbers, doing so won't be simple. According to Schofield, Meghan does not take rejection well and is quite sensitive to criticism. Spare was the first significant change we noticed in popular perception of the Sussexes. They went from being revered as heroes and victims to being laughed at. It's obvious that the South Park episode has had a big influence on how people view Harry and Meghan. But are the Sussexes' days numbered? Time will only tell. Yet one thing is for certain. Once South Park turns against you, there is no turning back. Thank you for viewing. To ensure that you never miss out, don't forget to hit subscribe and enable notifications. If you liked this video and think your friends will too, give it a thumbs up and share it with them. See you in the following.